Yeah, right. Okay.
As the lightsabers clash on Dave and Buster's field, it is Star Wars night here at Neon Center War Memorial Arena as your Syracuse Silver Knights get ready to take on the Florida Tropics in the second home match of the Syracuse Silver Knights home season. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on MASL TV. Christian Guzman, joined as always by Justin Parr. We'll have Jonah Karp with me in the second half. Justin, first of all, let's get to what's happening on the field right now. How excited are you for Star Wars The Last Jedi?
I mean, I am not one to be a huge Star Wars fan, but the antics that the team is going to put on a show for this high-packed crowd here at the War Memorial On Center Arena, it's just absolutely fantastic to see. I hope everyone embraces it as well as I am right now.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, here at the Neon Center War Memorial Arena, all fans under the age of 16, when they entered the War Memorial Arena here today, was given a lightsaber to enjoy the game with and to bring home with them, so you can see the kids really getting into the action. All the kids in the stands right now with their glowing lightsabers, a few of them getting ready for our pre-field run as well. But let's get to the action at hand. Silver Knights versus Tropics. These two teams just played last week against each other, so they're very familiar, and it was a 6-5 win for the Silver Knights, I should say, at the end, giving them their second win of the MASL season. What did you like from the Silver Knights in that contest?
I mean, we have to look at the one guy who's in between the pipes, and that's Andrew Coughlin. He had a career-high 24 saves in this one, a save percentage almost of 73%. He was absolutely a brick wall for the Silver Knights, only giving up 4 goals until the penalty goal that they scored with only 13 seconds left in the game. Of course, he had to let that one in because this Syracuse team cannot play a game that is more than a 1-goal differential. They've done it in all of their 5 games this season with their 2-3 record, and they're looking to do a similar thing tonight, and that's beat the Tropics, their division rivals.
Yeah, you take a look at more similarities between the scores last week with that 6-5 win over the Tropics. That was the second game that the Silver Knights played in which the final score was 6-5. Every other game that the Silver Knights have played, it has been a 7-6 scoreline. It is scary how consistent the scorelines have been. Also pretty scary that in the last 3 games, Syracuse has scored exactly 6 goals. The previous 2 games before that, 7 goals and 5 goals. That averages out to 6. Syracuse is averaging exactly 6 goals a game per each season, so it almost just feels like a formality nowadays that Syracuse is going to score 6 goals. It's just whether they're going to allow 7 or allow 5. But Andrew Coughlin, like you said, been so important in front of the pipes, but a man who really got the team going towards the end of the third quarter into the fourth quarter was Conrado Forbes, and it feels like we've been waiting for Conrado Forbes to really have that breakout game that he's needed throughout this entire season. Looks like he finally got it against Florida.
Well, he hasn't been bad all season, to say the least. He has had a goal in every game so far this year, but you just hit it right on the head. He needed to break out. He was this team's MVP last season, and they really needed a hat trick from him last game, and that's what he provided. They were down 4-3 at the end of that third quarter after he put all of his goals through the net. 6-4, Syracuse was leading that game, and he was just been huge for his team all season long, the Jamaican. He's been with this team for the past 4 seasons. He has just been amazing with 10 points already on the year. They're going to need another big performance from him if they want to get their second straight victory.
And here come the kids running around the field for the pregame field run for all our kids that are 12 and under. See a couple spilling there, but that's going to be noticed. Final thing here before we wrap here on our Silver Knights pregame show here on MASL TV. It feels like also Florida really didn't get their big key guys going. Mauricio Salas, Freddie Muyan, both held without a point in that game. And it feels like if Florida really wants to have a chance against the Silver Knights, it needs a big performance from those 2.
Yeah, Muyan, who's been leading the team all season long with 10 points and also leads the team with 6 assists, he really has to step up in this game. Last game, he was pretty much non-existent on the field as the only people scoring. You had Dieguez and Petreras. They put Florida on top early, but they need someone like Muyen to step up at the end of the game like he has been all season long. He wasn't able to do it last week against the Syracuse team. They're really going to need him tonight. Head coach Clay Roberts is really expecting him to break out on this year.
Well, we're about to get set here for Silver Knights action between the Syracuse Silver Knights and the Florida Tropics. We'll step aside as lineups, national anthem, and kickoff comes up here on MASL TV. Welcome back, everyone, to the Syracuse Silver Knights soccer here on MASL TV. Christian Guzman joined by Justin Parr as we get set for the Silver Knights to take on the Florida Tropics for the second time in as many weeks. And the first thing, Justin, that we've noticed here way before the game has even started is that there's no Peter Sliwa for the Tropics. They're starting goalkeeper for most of last year and a majority of this season as well. And not featuring in their squad today, it is Miguel Gallardo who gets the call to go in front of the net for the Tropics. How does that change things for the Tropics?
It's definitely an interesting strategy because they did start Gallardo last game against the Silver Knights, and he wound up dropping that contest. However, he was significantly better. He had a save percentage of 71.4%, as Sliwa has had 63.5% on the season.
So let's go through some of these starting lineups here between the Syracuse Silver Knights and the Florida Tropics. Let's start with those Florida Tropics. They have Miguel Gallardo in goal. Lucas Montalares also out there. You've got Anthony Arrico also out there with Mauricio Celis, Freddie Muyen also for the Florida Tropics. For the Silver Knights, it's Slavica Ubipara-Povic, Bo Yelovac, and Liam Callahan who gets the starts for the Silver Knights. It's Canado Forbes and Darren Toby who get the defensive duties, and Andrew Coughlin awaits in go. So we're almost ready here for Silver Knights between the Tropics here at the onset of War Memorial Arena for Star Wars night. You can see Syracuse in their festive Star Wars gear with a poster of a New Hope on the front of their jerseys and then the lightsaber on the back of their kits as well. It's Muyen who will get us started here for the Tropics as Silver Knights get ready to play their second game here at home. Head coach for the Tropics in his second season with the team is Clay Roberts. Ryan Hall, their head coach for the Silver Knights. Quick lineup change as looks like Joey Tavernisi was actually the one who was submitted to the starting lineup started than Liam Callahan. So it is Tavernisi, Yelovac, Ubipara-Povic, Toby, and Forbes who will get us going for the Silver Knights. Muyen will get things started for the Tropics. And here's the whistle. We're underway here at the onset of War Memorial Arena. Tropics get us going. It's Ubipara-Povic. Battles there with Montalares at midfield. Foul is called on Montalares. And Ubipara-Povic and the Silver Knights will take over. Forbes wants the quick restart. He has Yelovac on the floorboards. Guarded there by Rico. Now Toby. Ubipara-Povic. Montalares guarding him closely. So he looks for Tavernisi at the top of the key. Can't find him, and the Tropics will take over. But Forbes with a nice interception at midfield. Tavernisi helps him out there. Ubipara-Povic on the far boards, being double teamed, but finds Forbes. His pass a little bit too hard for Tavernisi. Now here come the Tropics. But Yelovac right back there. Muyen passes it back, and line changes coming for both teams. Once again, Syracuse and the Tropics played before just this past week in a 6-5 win for the Silver Knights, and Canado Forbes the big factor there for the Silver Knights.
Interesting to see Canado Forbes now acting more as a defender in this game. He's set up in the back, but he did have the 3 big goals last game. Interesting why he's not playing more of a midfielder forward role and he's staying back in the defense.
Patrick Thompson trying to guard Victorio Pereira, who's coming to this game, and Thompson does so successfully. Shot coming from Ricardo Dieguez, but it is blocked, and here come the Silver Knights breaking the other way. Yelovac finds Thompson. It's all alone on the near side. Thompson! An easy save here for Gallardo. And that's probably the first of many he's going to have to make against this tough Syracuse defense. And now here come the Tropics. Muyen was battling Tavernisi, still is there. And Coughlin comes out for the easy collect.
Thompson really blew an opportunity to open this game up for the Silver Knights. He was wide open for that goal, just couldn't connect.
Here's Schindler on the far side. He's coming to this game now. Yelovac looking for Tavernisi at the offensive end. Lays it off to Schindler, who's got all kinds of space there on the far boards. Looking for someone. Only has Tavernisi in the box. Tavernisi's brought down in the box. No foul given. And now a call is given. And Holding will put the ball at the top of the arc for the Silver Knights.
A late whistle by the official. You mentioned it. He was getting held all in the box, and now Slavisa will take the shot.
Parapovic lays it off to Forbes, and his shot is just wide. Vitale now, who's coming to the game. Schindler plays off the boards to Parapovic. Schindler comes off, and a left-footed shot from Parapovic is blocked by Muyen. Vitale. Minico Vitale, one of the longest tenured Silver Knights on this roster. Here's Parapovic.
The all-time leading scorer for this team. Ubi Parapovic been with the team since its inaugural season back in 2011. Had a great start to the season. Hasn't been as terrific in the past couple of games.
Yeah, after the Ontario game on November 10th, Ubi Parapovic has yet to score in a game against Baltimore and Florida. The last two games for the Silver Knights, and those are the last two games on the road. Silver Knights haven't been back at home since November 10th, so it's been a long time since they've been in the on-center. Bordeaux plays it off the boards for Callahan. But that shot is easily dealt with. Silver Knights, though, enjoying a nice amount of possession here as the ball is forced back into the defensive end of the Silver Knights. Dieguez guarding Yelovak, and he brought Yelovak down. So Silver Knights will retake possession.
Syracuse has had so much space in the Florida zone. They just haven't been able to convert on a shot, even with the penalty kick. Ubi Parapovic electing to pass it to Forbes, who completely missed the net. They got to get something going offensively.
Now the Tropics looking to do something here as Dieguez pressures Yelovak. Yelovak being pressured also there by J.P. Reyes. And now here come the Silver Knights. Schindler's now got some space on the near boards. Guarded there by Teixeira, and his shot's eventually blocked. Now Bordeaux going on the boards, actually hit Yelovak on the arm there, and now all alone one-on-one is Ricardo Dieguez, who's a one-on-one with Coughlin. It's a great save from Andrew Coughlin.
With no help around him, Andrew Coughlin making a terrific diving save.
And you got to think Ricardo Dieguez is kicking himself, and here comes Ubi Parapovic, one-on-one with Gallardo, kicks off the boards. Here's Vitale, and the Silver Knights look to reset. Teixeira's guarding closely Vitale. Teixeira now double-teamed by Tavernisi, comes back out to Forbes.
Great looks from each team right there. Both teams probably, as you said, kicking themselves that they didn't get on the board just now.
Here's Ubi Parapovic. He'll pass back to Coughlin, and the Silver Knights reset. Almost through 5 minutes here in the first quarter. Still no score between the Silver Knights and the Tropics. Coughlin looking long for Callahan, the former Syracuse University standout. Callahan being guarded closely. Here comes Ubi Parapovic. Parapovic tries to move past a Florida player. Instead, Darren Toby is there to help him. And here's Yelovak. Yelovak now with Thompson at the top of the key. Still haven't really entered the offensive zone, has Syracuse. And now Florida looks to make them pay. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay Syracuse ball.
A lot of bad passes from Syracuse early in this game. As said before, so many opportunities, and it looks like they have another one right now.
Jared Tavernisi couldn't control a ball on the near side of the box. That almost looked like an excellent opportunity for the Silver Knights. They caught Florida out on a line change there, Justin, and they almost cost them dearly.
And I was just talking about how the passing's been bad for this team. That was an excellent
Salas with a shot that just goes past Coughlin, and it hits off the far board. Shows how dangerous two of the many strikers that Florida has. We already saw Mauricio Salas with an excellent shot. Earlier also saw Ricardo Dieguez with a dangerous shot that required Coughlin's attention. Here's Marco Rodriguez with a shot and goal.
And that would be his first goal of the season, right into that bottom right corner past Coughlin. Nothing you could really do about that one.
It's so easy here in the indoor game to create your own shot with the tight spaces. And Marco Rodriguez, like you said, with his first goal of the season, does have one assist as the midfielder from Toronto, Ontario, gets the Tropics on top first. 1-0 with 9:05 left to go in the first quarter.
And Rodriguez must really like playing against the Silver Knights. He has 2 points now on the season, both of them against the Silver Knights team, as an assist in the game last Friday.
So Silver Knights will get us going once again here, down 1-0, as Forbes actually tears apart the turf here. We'll have a stoppage as the ice underneath the turf here almost against Coronado Forbes and a Florida player in a very dangerous situation.
And that's a poor job by the interns that set up this field yesterday. Definitely would like to see better than that.
Yeah, I wonder who one of those interns were.
I don't know. No idea.
Well, the ball will go over to Florida to restart. It will just be a kick back to Coughlin just to give the Silver Knights the ball back. It was Forbes who did have kind of the possession at the near end side of the court there.
Syracuse they're getting deep into Florida territory. It's seemingly every time they have possession of the ball. It's just that they're not doing anything with it, not even really taking great shots. I don't know if there has really been a challenge to Gallardo so far today.
Really, there was only that one opportunity that Patrick Thompson had earlier in the first quarter that was kind of just one of the most easier saves that Miguel Gallardo's ever going to have in his career.
Yeah, and it was a wide open opportunity. It shouldn't have been a shot that was that easy. And they had their opportunity, missed it. Now they're looking for another one, and they're doing all they can, just not making the passes to get quality looks.
Defensive clearance gives the Tropics a shot. That's Mauricio Salez, but his shot is blocked into the wall. Here's Pereira. His shot's just wide and top of the cage from Coughlin. Freddie Muyan resets things here for the Tropics.
And you said it earlier in the game, Christian, the strikers for the Tropics really needed to step up if they wanted to win this game, and it looks like they're ready for the task at hand tonight.
Now a player from the Tropics down on the near side of the boards here.
That's Freddie Muyan, the team's leading point getter. He has 10 points on the year.
You can say I'm donning the captain's R-band today. Would be really a great shame if the Tropics aren't able to continue without him in any capacity, or if him operating at less than optimal percent. Lucas Teixeira able to clear out Coughlin's clearance, but it's just going to go straight back to Coughlin. No worry for him. Now Domenico Fatale on the near boards. On to Coronado Forbes. Back over to Coughlin. Liam Callahan now. Callahan finds Nate Bordeaux. A nice, really cutting run from midfield from Bordeaux. So wasn't able to find anything, though. Reset things for Schindler. Now Callahan. Forbes. And Callahan almost had a chance there at the near boards. Nate Bordeaux! Shot saved by Gallardo.
And that was a great pass by Coronado Forbes. Liam Callahan only one goal this season. He could have had a second one right there. Just did not play it correctly at all and could not finish.
And as the ball goes out of bounds, it's an official timeout here. We'll step aside just shortly here. Tropics lead 1-0 with 7:42 left to go in the first quarter. We reset things here at the On-Center War Memorial Arena as Joey Tavernisi gets us going. Tries to find Bill Yelovak on the far boards, but it's nicely stopped there by Miguel Gallardo. Here's Darren Toby. Tries to centering pass. Joey Tavernisi's being guarded nicely, and he's not able to get anything going. And Bill Yelovak now battling against Ricardo Dieguez, and he's dispossessed.
And that's just a great job of blocking out by Coutinho. He didn't let anything He didn't let Darren Toby get that ball. Even for a second, he wasn't able to do anything. That's just great defense by the Tropics.
Now Gallardo playing sweeper keeper. He was looking for Muyan on the near boards, but Darren Toby read it immediately, and now here's Bernardo Forbes. Has Ubi Parapovic in some space. He's closed it there by Arico, and it's a nice move to get free. Vitale, another nice move to get past Arico, and Silver Knights will just take it easy. Under 7 minutes now left to go here in the first quarter. 1-0 Tropics lead after Marco Rodriguez able to get a shot onto the far post of Coughlin. Domenico Vitale now in some space. And that rough turf spot there on the field. Arico, and he's fouled by Callahan. We've also been seeing, kind of interestingly enough also, Callahan's been playing much more forward than I would normally think to see Liam Callahan play forward. When Callahan was with Syracuse University, he played mainly as a left back, as a left midfielder, but now playing in these forward roles in the indoor soccer game. As Joey Tavernisi has some space. Shot, and it's deflected in by Nate Bordeaux. That's Bordeaux's third goal of the year. It's Tavernisi's 6th assist, and the game is now tied at 1.
And Joey Tavernisi has been so big for this team all season, leading them now with 13 points on the year, finding Bordeaux for an easy goal. Now 1-1 game here at the On Center War Memorial Arena.
Not going to be an easier goal for Nate Bordeaux there. Kind of just fell through the arms of Gallardo, and all of a sudden he found himself wide open on the far post. And all of a sudden now it's a 1-1 ball game here between the Silver Knights and the Florida Tropics. So Gallardo will reset things here with now the game tied at 1. Gallardo looks long for Freddie Muyan. Seems to be the theme so far. A lot of long balls for Freddie Muyan at the offensive boards for the Tropics.
And yeah, he's not really getting down the field too much. He's just kind of cherry picking over there, but Syracuse always with the defender waiting to defend him, and he's not getting any good looks.
There's Marco Rodriguez looking for another shot. Found Muyan all open on the far post, but wasn't ready for it, and that was almost 2 for the Tropics.
Didn't even look like he reacted on that one. He was kind of surprised that it got there.
Yeah, and if Muyan knew that ball was going towards him, that was a goal for the Tropics, no doubt about it. As Gallardo cooks up the ball that was intended for Callahan. We talk about how much Coughlin has been so good for the Silver Knights. Well, when you have balls placed like that, there's not much he can do.
And that's just what the case is. Yes, this year, the goaltender, Andrew Coughlin, is outstanding. He was a MASL Team of the Week honorable mention last week. But now it's just a matter of the defense. I mean, this team's going to keep losing games if they let up looks like that. He can't just do it all. He can only do so much.
Shot, and it's off the far post there from Lucas Teixeira. Also had Ty Hall on the far post as well. And this was almost, again, multiple times that the Tropics had breaking the deadlock.
And as I said, he can only do so much. He was just barking orders out at the defense. He was not happy that Florida got that good of a look. The defense really needs to step up in the early going.
Now Arico being guarded by Vitale on the far boards. This one a little bit easier for Coughlin. And now he might have Ubi Parapovic one-on-one, but Marco Rodriguez does a good job to get it past Gallardo. And Gallardo does a good job also getting the ball away from Ubi Parapovic and settle things down. But here's Liam Callahan, who's caught the ball here. Callahan was looking to sub off, but now he's still back on. Kind of fortunate that he found the ball somewhat. Arico streaking down the far boards. Shot, and another good save here from Coughlin. And kind of a scuff shot there from Salas, but once again it's blocked. And now Bordeaux doesn't have numbers, but has the ball, and he's fouled from behind. No foul, actually. Looked like that was an easy foul from behind. Or Bordeaux might have got down a little too easily, according to the official's eyes.
And the official was right there. Kind of surprising that he didn't call the foul on that one.
Once again, the long ball for Freddie Muyan looking is Muyan. Wow, that's a beautiful goal from Freddie Muyan. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Miguel Gallardo with the excellent over-the-top ball to Freddie Muyan. And you can't score from a tighter angle than that. That's a beautiful goal.
And we've been saying it all night so far. The Tropics are just looking for Muyan in these one-on-one opportunities on the Syracuse side of the field. It looks like Syracuse had that one pretty well defended, but just an excellent shot from Muyan. He's been great all season long, and no different here tonight.
Yeah, how good does Nguyen probably feel after that, especially after being held without a point in last week's game against the Silver Knights in that 6-5 loss for the Tropics. Now here with a goal to his name already, and now 2-1 is the lead for the Tropics with 3:26 left to go in this first quarter.
And Nguyen really needs to step up in this game if Florida wants any shot to win. He got himself on the board early. Maybe this creates a little bit more momentum for him going forward, especially since he was held to no points against Syracuse, a feeling he hasn't had to feel many times this season.
Now Patrick Thompson on the far boards. As Darren Toby. And now Nate Bordeaux has some space there on the near board. Decides not to use it. His back was towards the goal. No subtle things here for Bo Yelovak. Now Darren Toby. 3 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. It's a 2-1 lead for the Tropics. Goals from Marco Rodriguez and Freddie Nguyen. Giving the Tropics their 2-1 advantage. Nate Bordeaux has the lone goal for the Silver Knights. Ubi Parapovic. Now has Conrado Forbes. Couldn't get the ball onto his left foot, which is what he looked like he was intending to do. And Silver Knights will still take over here.
A great look by there from Ubi Parapovic to find Forbes cutting, but it was Coutinho who made the nice interception to prevent what looked like an easy goal for Canardo.
Here's Forbes. Now Schindler. Schindler kind of gets caught with the referee there and is fouled from behind by Lucas Teixeira. Quick take here for Forbes. Has Vitale in some space. His shot blocked though. Now Tavernisi. He's also pushed from behind. Let's see if the Silver Knights want to take things a little bit slower this time. Yes, they will.
Very physical game at the Florida end of the field. They're definitely pushing these Syracuse players a lot, and it's working out for them, only holding them to one goal so far.
Ubi Parapovic looked for Tavernisi. Wasn't able to find him. And referees are going to say it was last off a Syracuse player. So it's Florida ball with 2:12 left to go here in the first quarter. Once again, they're looking for Nguyen, and he is one-on-one with Darren Toby. Silver Knights falling back into place, though, as the ball off the boards is to no avail. Now Coughlin gets out of a slightly sticky situation there. Now Darren Toby and Slavisa Ubi Parapovic are on the far boards. Toby passes back to Coughlin. 1:52 left to go now. Less than 2 minutes here in the first quarter. Nate Bordeaux, and actually that's Vitale all alone in midfield. And it's caught on a handball. Really, it's all about can Syracuse finish the chances that they create, or really create good chances at the near side of the field is really what it seems to be coming down to. It's Rico. His ball rattling off the boards, falls nicely into the hands of Coughlin, and now here comes Thompson, being guarded there by all of Florida, it seems. And the ball eventually finds Gallardo. Ubi Parapovic pressuring, so is Ahmed Sakai, who is on for his first action as a Silver Knight at home. Hall. Flicked up in the air by Vitale, who had no idea where the ball was. The ball eventually settles for Pereira. Vitale, 1:11 now left to go. Here is Vitale. Has Sakai on the near boards. Sakai still looking for his first goal as a Silver Knight, but dispossessed there. Hall. Over to Gallardo. Oh, Gallardo, bad pass. Forbes! It is so dangerous in the indoor game to have a lack of concentration or any lapse of concentration. And Miguel Gallardo just had one there. Passes the ball straight to Gallardo Forbes, and it's 2-2.
Make that 6 straight games with a goal for Canardo Forbes, and he was wide open. That's a huge mistake by Gallardo, passing it almost directly to Canardo Forbes. Didn't really reach too far to make that interception, and he had a wide open shot at the net, and you know that the MVP of the Silver Knights is not going to miss that opportunity.
Oh, not in a million years, and now he takes the team leading goals with 8. Breaks the tie with Joey Tavernisi, and once again, this game is now tied at 2. And going into the second quarter, that's a huge momentum booster for the Silver Knights. Something it feels like they desperately needed. See the ball go into the net.
And yeah, they've certainly been frustrated with this game. Florida's playing really heavily on the offensive side. They kind of get it up to Muyen, and then everyone else follows the ball at that point. Then Syracuse has been getting so many opportunities on the fast break, and they just haven't been able to convert. Now they're able to tie it, and it appears like they'll be able to go into the second quarter at this 2-2 deadlock.
15 seconds. Looks like Syracuse will have, like you said, Justin, last possession of this first quarter. Now 10 seconds. Schindler for Callahan. 7 on the clock. Schindler, 4 seconds. Looking for a trip, Gallardo, but Gallardo swallows it up. That's the end of the first quarter.
There was no signs of urgency for Syracuse on that one. Looks like they could have made an attempt to at least tack the goal, but they just kind of kept it out. Took a far shot. It was a shot, just a little too far out. Not really any chance of it going in. And now we are tied at 2-2 going into quarter number 2 here at the On Center.
Like you said, it was a shot, just probably wasn't the shot that the Silver Knights were looking for. At the end of the first quarter, we're tied at 2 here between the Syracuse Silver Knights and the Florida Tropics. You're listening to Silver Knights Soccer on MASL TV. Fans, it's now time for your end of first quarter update, and your first quarter update is brought to you by Farmers Insurance, the Joe Bauer Agency. We'll take a look around the MASL. We have 3 more games on tap for you here today in the MASL. The Milwaukee Wave and the Tacoma Stars will get going at 7:05 Eastern Time, followed by the Eastern rivals for the Silver Knights and the Tropics, and the Harrisburg Heat. Harrisburg Heat will get going again at 7:05 Eastern Time when they take on the Monterey Flash in Pennsylvania, in the capital of Pennsylvania, in Harrisburg. And then the Cedar Rapids Rampage and the Kansas City Comets will also get going at 8:05 Central Time. That is your first quarter update, again brought to you by Farmers Insurance, Joe Bauer Agency. We'll be back with the second quarter in 2 minutes. The score, 2-2 between the Silver Knights and the Tropics. Welcome back to MASL TV here on YouTube as the Syracuse Silver Knights and the Florida Tropics are about to get quarter 2 underway here between the two teams. It's tied at 2. Goals from the Silver Knights coming from Nate Bordeaux and Canardo Forbes, Marco Gonzalez and Freddie Muyen, the men who have the goals for the Florida Tropics. Christian and Guzman, joined as always by Justin Poro. We'll have Joda Karp with me in the second half. And Justin, it's really been an interesting game here in terms of Syracuse not being capitalized on having the majority of the possession in the first quarter.
And yeah, we've been saying it the entire first quarter. They've been breaking down the Florida side of the field almost every single time they've had the ball, and they've had the ball way more than the Tropics have in this one. Just haven't been able to capitalize with the same type of opportunities. We remember Patrick Thompson had a wide open look at the goal. He was the only one on the Tropics side, but Miguel Gallardo was there, made a very easy save. And now we're at 2-2. This game could very easily be favored in the Syracuse direction.
Well, Silver Knights get us going here at the beginning of quarter number 2. Joey Tavernisi on the far boards is slammed into the boards, and Joey Tavernisi has met those boards a couple of too many times for his liking throughout this season already. Looks like Tavernese is okay, and Slavica Uparapovic will take the free kick on those far boards. Looks like he's already looking for Bernardo Forbes to lay off the ball.
Forbes
He
on
is.
That side.
And
Wide
Forbes!
open.
Wow, it's just above the bar. Gallardo will restart things here for the Tropics. Montelares. Nice little flick on here, looking for Dieguez, but Toby right there to stop any danger. And Coughlin will look long. Liam Callahan's come onto the field, and now he has some space. Callahan finds Uparapovic, and the chip just sails on the top of the bar. Montelares almost causes Gallardo a lot of trouble there.
Once again, the opportunities for Syracuse just adding up, and they cannot finish.
Uparapovic, guarded there by Pereira, and Dieguez as well. Schindler, now looking for Callahan, being guarded by Rodriguez, and there's Sales. Dieguez, pass intercepted by Bordeaux, but Pereira is right there. And now here's Rodriguez, looking for Dieguez on the far side. Coughlin out of his box, able to punch it away, and now Coughlin has to make an impressive save there on the Dieguez shot.
Impressive kick right off the volley from Dieguez. He was ready to put that one home. It caught Coughlin by surprise, but still the diving save made by the veteran.
Ray Bordeaux's crossing pass intended for Patrick Thompson doesn't find its intended target. And now the Silver Knights and the Tropics battling for the ball on the near side of the boards. It's Florida who does come up with it. Sales. Over to Reyes. Now looking long and far for Muyen. Coutinho. Shot. And that one is collected by Coughlin. Toby. Looks like Coutinho really battling hard with Forbes. Able to get some space now. Coutinho. Ty Hall. His shot is just over the bar though. You gotta love Ty Hall's hairstyle right here.
Oh my goodness, of course I do. His teammates actually refer to him as Dreads. That is his nickname on the team. Not too hard to guess why.
Very not too hard to guess why. If you can't figure out who Ty Hall is on your screen after that, I'm sorry. Forbes takes a quick free kick there as Muyen was able to, that's not Muyen, I'm sorry, let's go home right now. Santos able to save quickly. Hall. Coutinho. Dos Santos. In this second quarter, it's now Florida who's had a majority of possession. Lucas Montelares, his pass intended for Rafael Schempler is no good, but a foul is given. And looks like Domenico Vitale weirdly wasn't happy with that call. 3 Florida players over the ball. That's Arico, Montelares, and Muyen. Muyen calls everyone off. It will be his free kick to take. Ready, Muyen. Shot blocked by Darren Toby. His 13th block of the year.
And that leads the team. 13th block shot by the veteran defenseman in his 7th season with the Silver Knights, as well as Uparapovic. They've been here since the beginning of this storied franchise.
Yeah, the 3 players who have been with the Silver Knights ever since the beginning still are playing here today in Toby, Uparapovic, and Bernardo Forbes. Darren Toby trying to get the ball away from Muyen, does so effectively. But here's Rafael Schempler. Schempler. Shot! And Lucas Teixeira's left-footed effort is high and wide. Almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter. Silver Knights and the Tropics are tied at 2 apiece. While Yalovak being double teamed in his own defensive zone, and the ball eventually finds Ricardo Dieguez. Now Salas being guarded there by Schindler now. Here's Pereira. Ball settles eventually out, and the Tropics reset. Pereira fouled by Yalovak, and he doesn't like that call. Another free kick opportunity coming here for the Tropics.
And I don't really blame Yalovak for that one. It didn't look like there was much contact. It almost looks like he tripped up on that one, but now a free kick from Pereira.
One of those calls where if the guy falls down, you almost have to give it if you're the referee. Definitely didn't like it. It's Salas who takes the left-footed effort, rattles off the boards.
And that was an absolute rifle, Christian, but nowhere near the goal, not even an attempt from Andrew Coughlin.
And one of those ones where you as a goalie can just stand your ground and look over your shoulder knowing that no danger is coming. And now another foul called by the referees on the Silver Knights on Salas. Looks like Schindler's being whistled for the foul. And this is an even more dangerous opportunity for the Tropics to break the deadlock here. The ball's actually going to move to the top of the key, and this is an excellent opportunity now for the Tropics.
And the Syracuse players are not happy. They thought that was clearly outside the box.
Coutinho stands over it. Pass over to Teixeira. The shot is blocked by Bordeaux. Now Bordeaux trying to wrestle for the ball. Tavernisi and Teixeira wrestled for the ball up there as well, but the ball eventually finds the safe hands of Andrew Coughlin. 5 minutes gone here in the second quarter. It's tied at 2 between the Silver Knights and the Tropics. Ball now looking long. Almost Marco Rodriguez found it, but the ball is well over on the shot from Dieguez.
That shot almost went over the netting, Christian. Now, if there were 3 goals stacked on top of that one, it still wouldn't have went in.
And you can tell that Ryan Hall's already noticing that the Silver Knights haven't come out with the same ferocity as they really have. Timeout called by him. We'll step aside very quickly here. We're listening to the Syracuse Silver Knights on MASL TV. As we reset things here at the on-center War Memorial Arena, the Syracuse Silver Knights and the Florida Tropics are tied at 2 here on MASL TV. Quick reminder, you are watching the Syracuse Silver Knights on MASL TV. Catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.TV. 4 excellent games on tap for you today. We're starting him off here on this great Week 7 here in the MASL. As the Syracuse Silver Knights and the Florida Tropics are tied at 2. Christian Guzman joined by Justin Barr as Canardo Forbes is wide open in space. Finds Darren Toby with the shot. And that is saved by Gallardo.
And it was a good pass by Forbes, don't get me wrong, but if I'm him, already have a goal in this game and the hat trick from off of Florida last weekend, I'm taking that shot. I'm rifling that one.
Kind of the whole confidence thing. You have the confidence and then seems like anything could go in. Maybe that's what Forbes should have been doing instead. Try to give Darren Toby a shot. That was only Toby's 5th shot of the year. But again, the theme of the day so far in this quarter has been Florida controlling the possession most of the time as Canardo Forbes is looking for Tavernisi. But Gallardo comes out well on the far boards. Tavernisi pressuring him. And now here comes Florida. Arico. Nice job to try and get past Forbes and Tavernisi. And the ball was well cleared. That's a That should be a 3-line violation.
And that certainly looks like that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, it looks like Lucas Teixeira was a little bit too happy, or maybe it was Anthony Orico who was a little bit too happy with trying to clear the ball. So it will be a 3-line penalty. It gives the Slovisa a shot, and it's just over the top of the bar. .8:32 now left in the second. Still tied at 2. Neither team here to score. But Kevin Escobar now on, trying to create something there for Bo Yelovak with a nice back heel. Wasn't able to do so.
Looks like he got a little fancy with that pass. Could have made a cleaner one and probably would have resulted in a goal. He was wide open on that one. Yeah, just a bad pass.
Bo Yelovak had some very nice space to work with. Joey Tavernisi. Patrick Thompson now. Thompson, nice pressure on Montalard. Now Patrick Thompson, just off the crossbar.
And if that ball was going in, it was Patrick Thompson all the way. He made a couple really nice moves in that left corner, and his shot just a little high and wide, and it won't fall. We'll stay at 2-2.
Patrick Thompson, who's been dealing with a groin injury through the first couple of weeks in the MASL, finally start to see some consistent playing time. Also was suspended from last week's game. But now Greaves possesses the ball here. Patrick Thompson just misses the far post. Second opportunity for him that he just misses.
Christian, he's really got to seize these opportunities.
Yeah.
The same thing was in the first quarter. He was wide open. It's him versus Gallardo. And that one, it wasn't even on target.
Nice little tiki-taka here from the Silver Knights. It's Kevin Escobar who has it on the near side of the boards. Nice shot from DeSantos, though, to dispossess him. And now Gallardo passes the ball off the boards, finds J.P. Reyes. Now Tropics looking to break. But he's doubled by Bo Yelovak, and he's called for the foul. Yelovak not liking that. Schlemper. Salez. Back to Gallardo. Here's Salez. 7 minutes now left in the second period. We're tied at 2. Teixeira. Now here's Salez. Salez on the far boards. So that passes to Gallardo. Now 6:42 left. Oh, nice acrobatic effort there by Mauricio Salez, who's also looking for his first goal in a couple of games. Teixeira now has some space, tries the left-footed shot. It's deflected up and wide. Salez. Back to Teixeira.
Couple of really good looks right there from the Tropics. And this has been a common theme all game, not finishing these great opportunities.
Really has been the story of the game for both teams. It seems like that really when it really matters the most, the defensive backs for both teams have been holding the fort down. Teixeira. Looking now for Freddie Muyen. Muyen off the boards. It's almost to the feet of Ty Hall, but instead Bo Yelovak will clear it. Teixeira. Now Hall being pressured by Yelovak. Gallardo. Fans, don't forget you can get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure that you're following MASL on Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. Now 5 minutes left to go here in the second quarter, I should say. Still tied at 2. Haven't found a goal yet in this quarter. Patrick Thompson, he's been the man who's come the closest for the Silver Knights twice. Battling against Rodriguez. Now Joey Tavernisi taken down, and there'll be a free kick for the Silver Knights. It looks like Tavernisi and Ty Hall are shaken up on the play.
That was a nasty play right there. Ty Hall definitely committed the penalty, but it seemed like as Tavernese was going down, he might have cleated Hall in the knee, and that one's definitely going to sting.
Kind of looked like Ty Hall came in afterwards on the play. There's a very dangerous free kick coming here now for the Silver Knights. Zubi Parapovic over it. He's not more than 10 feet out of the goal. Jake Schindler goes low and scores! It's Jake Schindler's second goal of the year. It's Loviso Ubiparic's fifth assist of the season as well. And the Silver Knights eventually break the deadlock here in the second quarter. It's 3-2 Syracuse.
A very tactical shot right there from Joey Tavernese. He wasn't looking for anything fancy. He knew that that line was jumping up for that shot. He knocks it right under everybody. Gallardo had no idea where it even was, visibly frustrated after that. 3-2 Silver Knights.
Yeah, well, Jake Schindler's second goal, maybe not as impressive as his first one against Turlock, where he absolutely rifled the ball from 30 yards out. But still, nonetheless, a goal is a goal, and it gives the Silver Knights the lead, 3-2 here in the second quarter. Coutinho, DeSantos now. Ivo Diaz. Dieguez. Now Canardo, Forbes. But coming out to save the Tropics is Arico. Parapovic. Handball shouts from the Silver Knights. Toby. Looks like the ball out on the Tropics. I almost thought that was out on Toby and would have been danger of defensive clearance, but no, Silver Knights ball. Here's Darren Toby. And Canardo Forbes out to Coughlin. Coughlin being pressured by Muyen. Now the ball goes long, looking for Ahmed Sakai. Long to Laris with a dangerous header back to Gallardo, but eventually finding the feet of Anthony Arico. On to Lares. Arico. Now Jake Schindler able to guard Muyen. Teixeira, and a foul is called as Bo Yelovak is in all sorts of pain on near boards.
And
Anthony Arico called on the foul.
And he is grabbing that right knee. Let's hope it's nothing more serious than just got hit there.
Yelovak in his 6th season with the Silver Knights. The captain of this team, he is sporting the armband. And really has just been a key part of their system throughout the entirety of the Silver Knights year. Yelovak kind of hobbling off the field here.
Not really a scorer for this team, only 2 points on the year, but the Serbian definitely does so much more than that. The captain of this Silver Knights team, been a valued member to the organization now for 6 years. It'd be awful to see him go down, but it looks like he's going to stay in this game, Christian.
Ball now going back over to the Tropics. 3:20 now left. It's Lucas Teixeira. Back to Gallardo. Freddie Muyen. Now unable to dispossess though. But Jake Schindler with a lazy touch there. Now being very pressured heavily by Muyen. Now the shot. And Pereira! Victor Pereira very close to tying that up. And now here's Nate Bordeaux. And his shots are just off the near post. Jake Schindler with a rocket.
Couple of rockets right there from Syracuse. No, says the Tropics. And we stay at 3-2.
Now Yelovak once again looks like he's okay, but he fouls Muyen once again, much to Yelovak's displeasure.
And these division rivals are going at each other tonight.
Salez has his shot deflected by Bordeaux, well out of bounds. .228 now. Shots on goal tied up at 11 as The Silver Knights and the Tropics are tied at, or I should say, Silver Knights leading the Tropics 3-2. Coughlin with just a nice save there. .210 now left in the quarter. Pereiras looking for something here, and Diegas with a shot. A nice save by Coughlin, parried away. Typical of a Syracuse game, low scoring as we approach the final 2 minutes of this first half. Yelvok being double teamed there by both Diegas and Pereiras. Eventually Diegas called for the foul, and now the Silver Knights look to break here. Callahan tried to play a ball off the boards to Bordeaux, but Ty Hall creating nice pressure there, giving the ball back to the Tropics. There's JP Reyes. Alright, Hall lost the ball momentarily there, but Lucas Coutinho able to pick it up nicely. Now Hall not able to get the ball in time before Coughlin was there.
We talked about how great Coughlin's been all season. He had a career-high 24 saves against this Tropics team a week ago. Having another nice night tonight, already 11 saves.
Really, it just doesn't seem like he's been needed to do much, but those 11 saves coming in handy. But now Domenico Fatale looking for Forbes in the box. Just a little bit too far for him, and Hall pushes Forbes from behind. With how physical this game has been, I'm surprised we haven't seen a blue card yet shown to either team.
Yeah, these referees certainly calling a lot of penalties, but letting them play to the extent that they're not sending anybody to the penalty box.
Forbes stands over the ball. Uparapovic leaks out wide. It goes to Uvi Parapovic. We know what he can do on that left foot, but instead it goes back to Forbes. Silver Knights trying to hold for the final shot of the half. 45 seconds. Toby over to Forbes. 40 seconds now. Fatale. Toby. All subtle things at the midfield marker. And now 30 seconds. Joey Tavernisi on the near boards. Guarded there by Marco Rodriguez. Freddie Muyen coming to cause distraction. And a shot coming from Darren Toby is just wide. Silver Knights retain possession though. This player is injured. Pedro Ivo Diaz, the man injured, as the referee will call for the trainer from the Tropics to come out.
With all the fallen players in this game, this is the first time a trainer actually comes out on the field. This one looks more serious than the other ones, Christian.
Yeah, we see a couple of Tropics players now coming out from the bench to check on their fallen player again. It is Pedro Ivo Diaz, the midfielder who has an assist and a shot on this season so far. Hasn't featured much in this game. We'll step aside quickly here on MASL TV. 3-2 with 19.4 seconds left. Silver Knights on top of the Tropics. Back here on MASL TV, the Silver Knights retake over on the far side of the field here with 19.4 seconds left in the second quarter after Pedro Ivo Diaz had to go back to the locker room. Here's Loviso Viparapovic. Looks for a shot, and it's high and over the board, so Tropics will retake here over a possession with 18.4 seconds left to go in the first half. Gallardo looking long and found Mauricio Salas there. 10 seconds now. Uvi Parapovic has the ball. Passes back to Coughlin. 5 seconds now left to go. Forbes. And that's the end of the first period. Really's been missed opportunities. Justin's at the end of the first half. That's where we stand 3-2 at the halftime mark. With the Silver Knights on top of the Tropics. Feels like it could be a lot more, though.
This has been a very high-paced game. A lot of fast breaks on both sides of the field. However, between these goalies in Gallardo and Coughlin and the defenses of each team creating a lot of tough opportunities and not many goals from either side with Syracuse and Florida. It's a really low-scoring game. As you said, definitely should be and could be a lot higher.
So we'll step aside here for a halftime at the Onsen War Memorial Arena. Before we do, Syracuse Silver Knights would like to thank Miter USA for providing today's match balls. Miter, founded in Huddersfield, England, is among the world's earliest sporting goods brands, starting production in 1817. Miter is a proud partner of Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. We'll step aside here again for halftime. Christian Guzman will be joined by Jonah Karp. We'd like to thank Justin Parr for being here with us on the first half. Jonah Karp will join me for the second half as Silver Knights and the Tropics battle it out here in this MASL Eastern Division match. Welcome back to MASL TV here on YouTube as the Syracuse Silver Knights and Florida's Tropics are getting ready for the second half here at the On Center War Memorial Arena. Christian Guzman here with you. Now joined, as promised, in the second half by Jonah Karp. Jonah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Christian. How are you?
First of all, I need to ask you, how are you enjoying the Star Wars festivities here tonight?
You know, like Justin, not a big Star Wars fan, but I gotta say, I love the lightsabers in action tonight. I'm surprised more people haven't gotten hurt.
That's a little bit morbid to think about right now.
I guess we don't know for sure.
We don't know for sure, but come on. But hey, it's all for fun here as the Silver Knights and the Tropics get underway here to start off the second half. Florida is the ones who get us going, and immediately Conrado Forbes creates some pressure, and Darren Tovey will settle things down. Forbes off the walls, and the Tropics now looking to break. Jonah, coming into the second half with the score at 3-2, what are your impressions so far of how this game has gone?
Well, Conrado Forbes is something else, especially when he's playing against this Florida Tropics team. Conrado Forbes scoring 3 goals in last week's game against the Florida Tropics down in Florida, and scoring a goal to tie it up at 2 right before Syracuse went ahead 3-2 to send it into the break. So Conrado Forbes just, for whatever reason, loves playing against this Florida Tropics team, and let's see if he can get going in the second half.
Yeah, you'll recall in that game at the end of the season last year, Forbes had 4 goals in that game and 2 assists to go along with it. Now we're looking for an assist here as Joey Tavernisi's shot is eventually saved by Gallardo, but an excellent opportunity in front of net for the Silver Knights. And really it was as I was talking with Justin about this in the first half, it was a tale of 2 quarters really. Syracuse having a majority of the possession and a majority of chances in the first half. And here's a chance here. It's Jake Schindler with his second goal. And once again, it's a Miguel Gallardo mistake that gives Syracuse a goal here. Maybe the absence of Peter Sliwa is really hurting the Florida Tropics here, but nonetheless, Silver Knights will take advantage. Jake Schindler with his second goal, and it's a 4-2 lead for the Silver Knights.
Well, it's like having a backup quarterback in when you have your backup goalie in. It adds a different heart and soul to this team, but credit Jake Schindler for getting red hot just when the Syracuse Silver Knights need him to.
Schindler's second goal today, 3rd goal of the season, and the Silver Knights now have an early 4-2 lead. Now foul called. Hard foul there, and Tropics will take over. Something I was also talking about with Justin in the first half, just how I'm surprised there hasn't really been a blue card yet in this game either. Really, really physical game. We even seen Pedro Diaz go back to the locker room to get treatment, and still no one serving time in the penalty box for any fouls.
And Christian, personally, I kind of like that. I like a hands-off officials kind of mentality. You want these guys to play. You don't want them to get too physical, and the officials have to draw the line in the sand somewhere. But right now, the officials letting the players play, and we have an exciting game on our hands.
Tavernisi on the far boards. Looking for some support. Has Yellowbach in support. However, the ball falls to Ty Hall. But now Tavernisi retakes possession, and Tavernisi's shot is high. Going back to what you're saying, Jonah, yeah, it really does make for a very interesting game, especially when the teams are, quote-unquote, allowed to play. Even though there have been a lot of whistles so far, really nothing too egregious has been seen as a foul, and really has created a really, really physical atmosphere here at the onset of War Memorial Arena. Of course, we say that while All I Want for Christmas is playing, one of the non-vicious songs of the year.
Hey, don't knock Mariah, man.
I am not knocking Mariah at all. I'm just saying it doesn't really fit the tone of the physicality of this game. Christmas indeed coming up. Syracuse won't play again until after Christmas, so for all that who celebrate, we wish everyone here a happy holidays from your Syracuse Silver Knights. If you are looking for more Syracuse Silver Knights action, they're back on the road next week on December 15th when they take on their Eastern Division rivals in the Harrisburg Heat. Syracuse, ironically, will play Harrisburg on December 29th, as that's a goal. Anthony Orico, unassisted, gets the ball past Coughlin, and the Tropics pull to within 1.
Well, Orico, a guy who brings a lot of veteran presence to this Tropics team. Played for Ambush, played for the Milwaukee Waves. And not a big guy on the floor, just 5'10", 175 pounds, with a big, powerful leg. Shooting one past Coughlin there to get the Tropics within 1.
That's Orico's second goal of the year. And now the 4-3 is the scoreline here at the onset of Memorial Arena. Really, all of the goals that have been scored here by the Tropics are really goals that Andrew Coughlin really hasn't been able to do much about. It's really been well-placed goals.
Yeah, well, the Tropics know that Coughlin is a top-tier goalie in the MASL, coming off his best game of his career, 24 saves. I know you guys highlighted that in the preview. But, you know, if you want to get one past Andrew Coughlin to put one in net, and you got to do it cleverly and carefully, and that's what the Tropics been able to do today. 3 goals that have been well-placed goals.
Here's Bo Yellowfox. Now he's looking for Bordeaux, and Bordeaux almost had his second of the game. Bordeaux scored his first goal in a very similar fashion like that when Joey Tavernisi streaked down the right side of the boards. And he centered the ball perfectly for Bordeaux. This time Yellowfox almost doing the same. And now Pereira. The equalizer from Victor Pereiras. And now we're tied at 4.
Well, I mentioned how Forbes loves playing against the Tropics. How about Pereiras liking to play against Syracuse? Scoring 2 goals in the game last week and notching his first one today.
Now Pereira is starting to become also a weapon for the Tropics. He moves his points total on the season up to 9 and also now has 5 goals. One behind Mauricio Salas for the team lead, Salas having 6. More importantly though for the Tropics, this game is now tied at 4 apiece. Coughlin looking long for Forbes. Almost at 5 minutes. Time. Almost at 5 minutes, should say, gone into the 3rd period. We're tied at 4. It's Bernardo Forbes. It's for Ubi Parapovic. Ubi Parapovic over to Darren Toby. Toby. Over to Ubi Parapovic. And now Forbes. Forbes has Vitale, and now has Ubi Parapovic on the top.
Christian, you mentioned that the first half was a tale of 2 quarters. But it seems like the 3rd quarter, at least early on, is a completely different tale than what we saw in the 2nd quarter. Maybe a little reminiscent of what we saw in the 1st quarter, at least for the Tropics side. We saw the Syracuse defense able to clamp down and hold the Tropics scoreless in the 2nd quarter and take a 3-2 lead into the break. But the Tropics have come out firing after the break. I don't know what they were fed in the locker room, but we're all tied up at 4 now.
Never underestimate the power of orange slices, Jonah. I mean, that's all I can assume, but, you know, thinking, remember that Will Ferrell movie, Kicking with the Tigers, back in like 2006? That's what I'm thinking. But again, also, to your point as well, it seems like Syracuse has had a good amount of possession as well in this 3rd quarter as well. It's really been them who've had the ball, and most of the goals that have come from the Tropics side have really been one-time possession counterattacks. And they might not get another one. They might get another one here with Lucas Coutinho. Coutinho goes around to Parapovic. Great save. Coughlin. He is pumped up. Strong right arm there.
And Coughlin with a Tiger Woods-esque fist pump after that save.
Indeed, and now the The Silver Knights looking to get something on the other end. Ball will go past Coughlin, but a whistle called. And the ball will go to Florida. Patrick Thompson now in the game. Turns the ball over to J.P. Reyes. Coughlin not called on as much in this game. So only made 7 saves on 11 shots.
Well, Christian, there have been a lot of goals that, I was going to say, have not been close, except for that one.
Well, that's going to be interesting to see who we give that goal to. It most likely is Lucas Montelares, but Freddie Muyen was streaking down the right boards. Tried a nice centering pass. Not sure who it's going towards. It might go to Rico or Montelares. But we'll get word from our official scorer on who gets that. But it is a Tropics goal, and they retake the lead. For the first time since the first quarter, it's now 5-4 Tropics.
And the Tropics, I guess, taking a page out of the Silver Knights playbook from last weekend's game. The Silver Knights coming back from a 2-goal deficit twice in that game. The Silver Knights were behind 3-1, and then they were behind 4-2, and clawed their way back. It was Canardo Forbes that took over for Syracuse, scored a hat trick, the final 3 goals for Syracuse, to ultimately put that game on ice. But now the Tropics, who were at one point leading early in the first quarter, then fell behind 2 goals, 4-2, now have clawed their way back, scoring 3 straight.
Well, if anyone can come back from any sort of deficit, it seems like it can be the Silver Knights. You take a look at their first game against Turlock. They had to come back and win that game eventually in overtime as Joey Tavernisi tries to equalize it immediately. No avail, though, as the ball goes past the halfway mark. And then last week, like you said, against Florida, it was another comeback fashion. Syracuse didn't lead at all in that game until Canardo Forbes were able to put them up 5-4, eventually making it 6-4 before Syracuse winning it 6-5. Almost through the halfway point here at the third quarter. The score right now 5-4 in favor of the Florida Tropics. Bordeaux picks up the ball at midfield. As once again, seems like much of the first quarter is coming back here. Syracuse enjoying the majority of the possession, but Florida taking its chances when it can and converting on those chances. Joey Tavernisi has some space, but he elects to find Bordeaux. Pass is intercepted though. Coughlin. Now to Yelovak. Yelovak now has Patrick Thompson all alone in some space down the boards. Centering pass for Nate Bordeaux. It's a great save from Gallardo. Now has a heading battle with Jake Schindler, who heads it down the near side of the boards when it goes out of play. It's Florida ball. And with that, we'll take an official timeout here in the third. The score 5-4 in favor of Florida. We're back here at the On Center War Memorial Arena, and the Tropics already looking to break off the reset. Shot from Dos Santos is just high. Silver Knights are still looking to really take control of their chances and buckle down defensively, especially when the Tropics come back to break. Bernardo Forbes on the near boards, looking to put some moves on Salas, and his shot is eventually blocked by Dos Santos.
Well, Christian, you showcase Syracuse as their defense was really a reason why they beat the Tropics down in Florida last weekend. You know, the defense really stepped up when it mattered. They held Mujin and Salas both scoreless in that contest. And we saw a little bit of that defense in the second quarter. But now in the third quarter, the Tropics have scored 3 straight goals. We haven't seen the same Syracuse defense really step up.
Because really they haven't had the defensive opportunities, and when those defensive opportunities have come, and it's really been just lackadaisical in getting back on defense. Maybe Syracuse controlling most of the possession is becoming a detriment to them because they're not getting back defensively and are not finding their shape defensively against this Florida attack, which we know is very important. You got people like Mauricio Salas, you got Freddie Muyen, Victor Pereras. You even still have Ricardo Carlos Diegues, who still hasn't scored a goal in this game. Still waiting to make an impact. Muyen now guarding. And ball falls on back. Teixeira. Pereras. Blocked by Toby. Now here comes Bernardo Forbes, streaking down the far boards, but he's intercepted from behind by Teixeira, who's had a very nice game defensively. Teixeira. Bernardo, under 5 minutes now to play in the third quarter. 5-4 is the lead. And Diegues fouls Toby. Rafael Schempler. He's taken down, and it's a blue card issued. Coughlin can't serve the blue card, so someone will have to go into the penalty box. Be Ben Raymond who will serve the penalty for Andrew Coughlin, but again, the foul called on Coughlin, and now Syracuse has to go on the penalty kill.
Christian, I don't know about that. It's been a very physical game so far on both ends. We saw Ty Hall, for instance, throw down Bernardo Forbes on the near side back in the first half. And I don't know. It looked like Coughlin was going for the ball. To me, that's not blue card worthy, but the official's a lot closer to the action, and they're converging right now, conversing about the penalty.
Well, Florida, really, if there's been one thing that they've improved on from last year to this year, it's really been the power play. Power play conversion for Florida last year was at 23%. This year it's at 50%, so a little bit better for them. Syracuse, conversely, has killed 57% of the penalties they faced. Luckily, also, that wasn't a penalty, as the foul just occurred outside the box. That most likely could have been a penalty shot. Initially, thought it was on the first initial point of contact, but now it's a penalty kill for Syracuse. They first have to defend this free kick. Florida will take a timeout first. So we'll step aside momentarily. The score 5-4 in favor of the Tropics. They're on the power play, making a look at 6-4 with 4:37 left to go in the quarter. Back here on MASL TV, the Tropics looking to score on the power play. On the free kick. Mauricio Salas. Really weird, interesting free kick strategy there as Pereira misses the ball. And now Syracuse goes on the power play. I should say Florida goes on the power play. Syracuse on the penalty kill. Salas. Inside to Dieguez. Cleared away. Now Pereira. Salas. Pereira. Salas. Back to Pereira. Chera. I should say that's Coutinho. Pereira. Salas. Nice save from Coughlin. No shorthanded goals for the Syracuse Silver Knights this year. Doesn't look like there will be one here.
Well, Christian, it's 5-on-4, like you mentioned, a power play for the Tropics, and the name of the game right now for Florida is pass the ball. It's a 5-on-4, so with the extra man, you want that open opportunity, a good shot opportunity.
And there is that good shot opportunity as Lucas Coutinho scores off the pass off the boards from Muyen, and the Tropics do convert on the power play. 6-4 now, Florida leads. Coutinho picks up his 4th goal of the season.
Well, if there's a positive you could take away from that goal, if you're Syracuse, is that the power play is now over with the goal. So now it's 5-on-5 again, and Silver Knights, after giving up 4 straight goals and giving up the lead, let's see if they can climb back into this one, if not tie it up, taking it into the final quarter.
So 3:24 now left to go. It was under a minute on the power play when the goal was scored. And now 6-4 to lead for Florida as Coughlin looks long for Joey Tavernisi. Can't find him. Instead, the Silver Knights will reset. Baron Toby over to Ubi Parapovic. Now finding Tavernisi. Tavernisi now back to Ubi Parapovic. Finds Yelovac on the far boards. Diaz back onto the field after getting injured in the second quarter. Good to see him back out here. Another controlled approach coming here from the Silver Knights. Still looking for a good shot. Trying not to make a lazy pass in the final third. Here's Gennaro Forbes. He looked far post, couldn't find it. And now we Parapovic. Ordered there by Diaz. Tavernisi off the boards, looking for Ubi Parapovic. And Gallardo cleans it up. Now he's got a man streaking down the far boards. Jake Schindler able to stay there. Now Gennaro Forbes has Tavernisi cherry picking. There is Tavernisi. Looking for Bordeaux. Couldn't control it though. And now Florida looks to break. However, Ty Hall slips. The ball goes back to the Knights. Toby. Tavernisi. Now Coughlin.
Right now what you're seeing, Christian, is the veteran presence and the leadership on this Syracuse Silver Knights team. They know there's no need to rush. There's still a full quarter to be played. So even though there's 90 seconds to go, give or take, left in the third quarter and the Knights down by 2 scores, there's no need to push and take an ill-advised shot.
Tavernisi. Forbes. Fatale. Now back to Forbes. Bordeaux. Down the boards is Tavernisi. Guarded there by Rico. Tavernisi has Forbes in some space. Space quickly closed down. Now Forbes with the left-footed shot is off the boards. It goes back towards him. Tawe under a minute now left to go. Here's Toby. Back out to Ubi Parapovic. And now Forbes. Vitale plays it off the boards, but loses possession. Now Callahan trying to fight back for that possession. Gives it back to Forbes. Forbes right-footed shot is deflected. Silver Knights still have possession, but again, not getting the shots to fall. Vitale. Under 30 seconds now left to go in this third. Schindler. 20 seconds now. Parapovic has a runner in Yelovak. Decides not to use him though. Under 15. Parapovic. Guarded there by Teixeira. 9 seconds now. 5 seconds. Trying to look for Callahan far post. Couldn't do so. And the quarter will end without a goal. 6-4 to Tropics lead going into the fourth quarter. Again, the Silver Knights, no strangers to comebacks. Will need to have one here in order to escape the onset of Memorial Arena with a victory. Fourth quarter action coming up. And the Silver Knights trail 6-4. Fans, it's once again time for a end of quarter update sponsored by Farmers Bureau's Insurance. The Milwaukee Wave and the Tacoma Stars are already underway. That game is tied at 2. Also, the Harrisburg Heat and the Monterey Flash are underway as well. That game sees the Flash leading to 2-1. And again, the final game today in the MASL is the Cedar Rapids Rampage going up against the Kansas City Comets Stat, scheduled to kick off in about 20 minutes. That was the end of quarter update, brought to you by Farmers Insurance, the Joe Bauer Agency. We'll be back here at the onset of War Memorial Arena as the Silver Knights try to come back. Florida leads 6-4. Welcome back to the onset of War Memorial Arena here on MASL TV as the Syracuse Silver Knights take on the Florida Tropics. Florida carries a 6-4 lead going into this fourth quarter. Before we get this fourth quarter underway, the MASL and MITRE share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. MITRE's Astro Division ball is the official game ball for MASL League play. MITRE's Astro Division is designed specifically to play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight than the average ball and has a 30% reduced bounce to make it play more efficiently in arena soccer. MSL and MITRE partnering for the official game ball in the MASL. Christian de Guzman joined by Jonah Karp as the Silver Knights need at least 2 goals to send this game into overtime. 3 to win it. Obviously, they also need a hold Tropics scoreless, but the Tropics have been really the aggressors on the counterattack side of the ball when they've really allowed themselves to sit back and then let the Silver Knights really beat themselves on the defensive end. And really, offensively, the Silver Knights have not been able to take their chances as Tavernisi is slammed into the near boards. But Yelovak, shot is blocked by Lucas Montelares. But now the ball comes back out to Forbes. And Tavernisi is stopped point blank by Gallardo. Gallardo hasn't had to make many spectacular saves, but has needed to make the ones that you would expect him to make. And Tavernisi is once again stopped.
And Christian
Forbes, Tavernisi. Back to Forbes. Still looking dangerous here is Darren Toby. Darren Toby still in the offensive third. weird place for him to be. Usually you see him in the defensive side or in the top side of the pitch. That's where you'll see him go out for a change. So the theme of the game still holding strong. Silver Knights trying to hold possession as long as they can. However, really haven't been able to find good shots on goal.
Well, Christian, you bring up Gallardo, who is filling in for Sliwa in the net for the Florida Tropics. And I mentioned it in the beginning of the second half, how having your backup goalie in is virtually equivalent.
Oh, Pereira, what a great goal.
Now the Tropics are just pulling away. They're showing off against the Syracuse defense, but having your backup goalie in is almost the same as having a backup quarterback in. That's the heart and soul of your team. And if the Silver Knights can't get good shots on offense and Gallardo doesn't need to make any spectacular saves, well, that's exactly what the doctor ordered for this Florida team, and they're just ripping apart the Syracuse defense now. 5 straight goals for Florida, and they're on top by 3 scores.
7-4 now as Victor Pereira scores his second goal of the game. And now it is 7-4 Tropics on a beautiful effort across his body from Victor Pereira. Now Silver Knights have to do even more work here. Now Ty Hall streaking down the left side. I should say the right side. Coughlin has to get down low to get a hand on it. Tawe. Toby. Here's Patrick Thompson. Thompson. Nice clean tackle there from Hall. Scheffler scored. Rafael Schempler scores, and now it's 8-4 Knights. I should say an 8-4 Tropics.
And if the last couple of goals didn't suck the life out of the on-center War Memorial Arena, that one certainly did. A crowd of over 3,000 people on Star Wars night. There's zero life right now.
And that forces a timeout from head coach Ryan Hall. We'll step aside. 8-4 now, the Tropics lead. Back inside the on-center War Memorial Arena, it's an 8-4 lead for the Tropics as the Silver Knights really haven't been able to do anything to get back in this game. It seems like Syracuse, again, we've been saying, has had the majority of possession. Their shots just have not been able to fall. Defensive clearance called, so this might give them a little bit of a spark here with the free kick at the top of the key.
Well, Christian, right now they're playing Journey's Don't Stop Believin' here in the on-center War Memorial Arena.
Bernardo Forbes lays it off for Ruby Parapovic, and now the shot blocked from Tavernisi. And a nice athletic clearance by Arico. Forbes with a touch, tries to settle it down. And that ball hits the roof of the on-center. And it's Florida ball. Forbes didn't like that call.
Well, this popular 80s hit that's being bounced around the walls of this arena right now is pretty much the mentality of this Syracuse team with just over 12 minutes to go in the game. Down 4 scores, Syracuse can't stop believing right now.
Although Rico might be able to make him stop believing, hasn't been able to do so with that shot over Coughlin's head. Silver Knights retake possession, although it's taken quickly away back from them. Here comes Gallardo out of his net. Rico. Freddie Mullins been quiet in the second half, but now repossesses the ball off of Liam Callahan. He forces a save off of Coughlin, and then the shot is blocked by Toby. Now Darren Toby dispossessed, and Salas' shot is to the left of the goal. Forbes now looking for Ubi Parapovic down the right-hand side of the boards. Miscontrols the bounce, though. Now settles things down. Goes onto his left foot. Shot! Blocked there, nicely there from Salas. Usually we don't see forwards get down and do the dirty defensive work, but it was a clear defensive stop there from Salas. Ubi Parapovic looking for Schindler. Now back to Ubi Parapovic. Schindler battling on the near boards. Ubi Parapovic. Nice back heel. Schindler! Off the far post. Probably the closest the Knights have come in quite a while. Forbes. Dispossessed there, and foul called on JP Reyes. Once again, Silver Knights have had their opportunities. They'll be ruining the chances that they haven't been able to score. Quick free kick taken, but referees hadn't whistled for a play to begin yet, so they'll restart. Yelovak also just squarely hit Joey Tavernisi on the far post there. They'll try it again with Yelovak, but that's how his shot goes high instead of wide.
And isn't that shot just a microcosm of this entire second half for Syracuse? Goals that, or shots that just have not even been close to the cage.
And really shots that you would think that the Silver Knights would have a better chance of just even putting on the cage in general. Either forcing a save from Sliwa, or I should say from Gallardo. But Gallardo hasn't been able to do much, needed to do much. And now Yelovak trying to pressure. The sweeper keeper coming out. Now Florida is the one who is enjoying a extended stretch of possession. Coutinho plays it off the boards, but Thatcher Thompson picks it back up. And here's the shot! Saved from Bordeaux. Nate Bordeaux unable to capitalize there. Still 8-4 the Tropics lead. Really, this has really been the first game where it feels like Syracuse really hasn't looked the best over the entire stretch of the game. Really, when you look at every game that Syracuse has played, they've been in the game going into this fourth quarter. But now really, like you said earlier in this quarter, Jonah, that the life really just has been sucked out of this War Memorial Arena. And really, it seems to have sucked the life out of this Syracuse team also. Even though they're getting the good shots that you want to see from a team of their caliber on goal, just really hasn't been either well-taken shots, really good shots in general. Anthony Orico maybe fouled from behind, and the shot is blocked. And the Knights will take over.
Well, Christian, this 4-goal difference right now is uncharted territory for Syracuse. Yeah, they've played 5 games so far this season, and each game has been decided by 1 goal. This 4-goal difference is the largest margin that Syracuse had to deal with all season.
And every game also, Syracuse has not given up more than 7 goals at all. this season. Hasn't given up more than 6 in regulation this entire season, but now is giving up 8 to the Tropics. But now this will maybe be an opportunity for the Silver Knights as the power play comes in. Salas goes to the penalty box against Syracuse on the season. Not having too much success on a power play. They're only 33% for the Tropics. They are killing the power play either with much success either at 43%. So the power play unit for the Silver Knights: Forbes, Toby, Bordeaux, Tavernisi, and Slavisa. Toby in the middle. This is possessed by Teixeira. Tropics have a couple of shorthanded goals to their name. Could get another one here as Ty Hall's battling the boards, but Tavernisi picks the ball back up. Parapovic going for a sliding tackle on the Hall. Now Teixeira. Just playing keep away from the Syracuse team. Doing so successfully, killing a good amount of time in this penalty. Now Ty Hall might have an opportunity for a shot here against Bordeaux and Forbes. Forbes fouls Hall from behind. Minute 15 left on the penalty on the Salas.
And that's a matchup we've been watching all game. Forbes versus Hall. We saw Hall push down Forbes early in the first half. We saw Forbes get tangled up with Hall early in the first half. This is the first time we've seen these two go at it in the second half, but this is not what Syracuse needs right now. What Syracuse needs to focus on is to capitalize on this power play opportunity.
Coughlin snuffs out the attempt from, the attempted backdoor cut, I should say, from Teixeira. And now Syracuse will finally get back into their power play setting, but haven't been able to do much on this power play. A minute now gone. Toby back out to Forbes. Toby, Ubi Parapovic, whipping it across the field to Bordeaux. Bordeaux. Forbes, Ubi Parapovic. Forbes. 43 seconds left on the penalty. Back out top to Forbes. Trying to control some traffic. Look for Tavernisi back post. And now the Tropics clearing the ball. Gives them a bit more time. 30 seconds now on the penalty. Tavernisi. Parapovic to Forbes. Bordeaux. Parapovic. I should say Forbes. Bordeaux shot. Save from Gallardo. 15 seconds now on the penalty. As Bordeaux will now try to kill the rest of this penalty. Salas coming back on the field in 7 seconds. Forbes. 4 seconds. And Tropics successfully killed a penalty. Salas comes out of the box. Bordeaux streaking down the side. Now pressured by Salas. Darren Toby! Nice save from the keeper. And out to Forbes. Bordeaux coming off. Pressured nicely from Salas. Parapovic. Rodriguez. Montelares. Now approaching 6 minutes left to go in this game. It's been an 8-4 lead for the Tropics. In control throughout the second half. Toby looking for Tavernisi, was cherry picking. Tries to head it past the keeper, and an acrobatic shot is again saved by Gallardo. And Salas tried to flick it on to Buyen. Didn't know where he was going though. Now Silver Knights retake possession. Yelovak. Yelovak off the boards to himself. Nice play from him. Well, Yelovak now off the boards, looking for Patrick Thompson. And a nice stop from Gallardo, who's bumping himself up as well. Parapovic fouls Buyen from behind. Tropics take over. Really, that's been the best opportunity we've seen the entire second half, I would say, from the Silver Knights.
Well, credit Yelovak for almost getting the job done. We saw an acrobatic trick shot off the boards, it looked like, then a pass down low, and it looked like a wide open shot underneath, but these are the types of opportunities that Syracuse just cannot capitalize on. We saw that the Silver Knights couldn't capitalize on the power play opportunities. They had 2 minutes to do so, and a wide open shot underneath right in front of the cage, couldn't convert there. And it's a big reason why Syracuse is down by 4 scores with under 5.5 to go.
So we'll step aside here momentarily as the officials take a timeout. 5:26 left to go in the fourth quarter. 8-4 is the lead for the Tropics over the Knights. Back here inside the on-center War Memorial Arena, as the Tropics are absolutely dominating the Silver Knights here, especially in the second half. Score right now 8-4 Florida over the Silver Knights. But an excellent display of counter-attacking football from the Florida Tropics, as really Syracuse has had the majority of possession. Salas has Dieguez down the far boards, being guarded there closely by Yelovak. Reyes now. Gallardo. Pressure coming from Ben Raymond. Now Jake Schindler tries to head the ball back. Ball picked up by Gallardo though. Now Reyes. JP Reyes. Battering down the boards. Guarded there by 3 Silver Knights players. Eventually the ball leaks out for Patrick Thompson. Now Liam Callahan streaking down the far boards. Thompson didn't find him though. Now here comes Thompson. Here Callahan now in some space. Callahan! Shot took a deflection, but far too easy there for Gallardo. Dos Santos. Shot blocked there by, actually pass blocked by Schindler. Now the ball settles to the feet of Coronado Forbes, who's come on as the 6th attacker. So Coughlin's out of his goal. Forbes in as the 6th attacker. As Silver Knights try to get anything going here. Shows you Coach Ryan Hall's not giving up yet, even here with the 6th attacker up. Coronado Forbes out of his goal. Chip from Pereira. And that's the perfect way to complete your hat trick. Sure, Coughlin not in goal, but for Victor Pereira, probably couldn't ask for a more perfect hat trick there, and now the Tropics lead 9-4.
And of course, that is the risk you take when you take your goalie out and add a 6th attacker in. Obviously, the goal for Syracuse was to score a goal and try to get back in this ball game, but with under 3.5 to go, now down 5 scores, it looks like this game has been put on ice.
So if the results held the way they are, Syracuse will stay in last place in the MASL Eastern Division, dropped to 2 and 4. Liam Callahan tries an acrobatic shot, but it goes high. Tropics would improve to 4 and 2 on the year. Attempt to try and battle Baltimore for that top spot in the MASL Eastern Division. Toby. Parapovic. Now looking for Bordeaux down the far side. Bordeaux kind of scuffs his shot though. Under 3 minutes now. Score still 9-4 in favor of the Tropics. Bordeaux. Callahan. Bordeaux now. Bordeaux. Nope. Shot was blocked there by Florida player. Coughlin now back in. Looks like Ryan Hall has abandoned the 6th attacker idea. Instead, he'll play this one out with Coughlin back in goal. Schindler. Ball flushed into the stands. Looks like wasn't far enough for a defensive clearance. Instead, a free kick here for the Silver Knights.
And I bet you those fans in the first row would like to have used the force to block that ball.
Indeed.
I told you I was going to get a Star Wars reference in.
You did. Good job.
It wasn't
not much
that
I
good.
could.
It wasn't that good.
Yeah, it was like, well, Joni probably could have come up with something better there.
C-.
This is not the Star Wars pun you're looking for.
That was a little bit better.
My Jedi mind tricks are powerful in me. Shot Ahmed Sakai! Really, nothing has been falling for Syracuse. Even Ahmed Sakai not able to get anything there as Schindler is found from behind by Anthony Orico. Now 1:28 left to go in the game. It'll be Parapovic. Now Florida looking to break. Florida looking to chip the Coughlin. Ball goes out of play though. Jonah, at the end of the day, I think it's Syracuse who really will be viewing the chances that they weren't able to score rather than them playing not the best defense. Obviously, the defense was a problem. Syracuse not being able to come back totally and pay attention on some of those chances that they really probably should have scored. But at the end of the day, it was Syracuse missing chance after chance after chance that really should have put this game much closer than it really is under a minute to play now.
And I think that's probably the biggest takeaway. If you're Coach Ryan Hall, if you were to take one thing away from this game, and obviously there's more than one thing when you lose by 5 goals, and it could be more. But that's probably the biggest thing. You know, finding open shots that are close to the net, that are smart shots. And Syracuse, even when they've gotten open opportunities, the shots just haven't been close.
And for Florida, it really was an excellent tactical masterpiece from them. Stay back, defend, or weather the storm, because they knew they could weather the storm and had enough talented attackers to counterattack when the opportunity arose. And when those opportunities arose, boy, did Florida be more clinical with those opportunities than Syracuse were. Liam Cowan, now Tavernisi, but there again, another missed opportunity with Tavernisi miscontrolling the ball there, his touch failing him. But now Tavernisi, shot right though at Gallardo, though. You got to put that either to his right or his left. Right down the middle, though, and Gallardo will just hold the ball for the final seconds of this game. Here's the final horn. Syracuse drops its 4th game of the season. Its 2nd home game of the season they drop as well, because they lose. Chances at the end of the day that Syracuse failed to convert on, and it was the chances that the Tropics took and be very clinical with those chances in order to score and pull away from the Silver Knights.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to look at the Florida Tropics team that let a game get away from them last weekend against Syracuse. They are now coming into Syracuse with revenge in mind. Don't think that they didn't have vengeance on the forefronts of their minds coming into the day, and they beat Syracuse handily here in the On Center.
So once again, our final score here from the On Center War Memorial Arena. The Florida Tropics 9, the Silver Knights 4. Silver Knights are back in action next week on December 15th. They travel down to Pennsylvania's capital in Harrisburg, where they take on the Harrisburg Heat. The Silver Knights will play those Harrisburg Heat only a couple days after Christmas on December 29th. I'll be there with the call here from the On Center War Memorial Arena. But for now, Jonah Karp, for Justin Power, for the entire Silver Knights crew, for the entire production team here at the On Center War Memorial Arena, this is Christian Guzman saying so long from Syracuse, New York. Syracuse drops a tough game, losing 9-4.